Yeah, it looks cute on you. Are you cold?
A little bit.
Oh.
So today it's
The 7th.
December 7th. So 7.
Okay, this topic is something that P always brings up to me, and for me it doesn't quite work, but she always told me that your life goes in 7-year cycles.
Actually, the first time I heard about that, it was my grandma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember once I was like kind of depressed.
Sorry, just a second.
I was going through a very difficult time in my life, and I was talking about it with my grandma, and she goes, "Oh, don't worry. When did this thing start? Like 3 years ago. Oh, don't worry, 4 years, the wind will change." I said, "What do you mean?" Because every 7 years, something shifts, and it takes a totally different direction, or something happens, and it puts you on a different path, or gives you a shift.
It's a really interesting theory, but where did your grandmother get this from? Is it like an old Italian thing?
If you just Google it, you see that it's a thing. Actually, there is this 7-year cycle that some people talk about. I don't know where it comes from, and then I start like, yeah, it's actually true. If I count ever since I was born, every 7 years, there is something happening, like something huge happening in my life. Okay,
so tell me about your 7-year cycles. Like, what happened?
Okay, what happened? Okay, when I was 7 years, we moved from the house where I was born to a new apartment because my parents bought finally an apartment. So we moved to the big city, and I was 7 years old, and for me it was like huge change. Okay, this new apartment, it was ours, it was a new neighborhood, things were changing in my life. Then when I turned 14, for the first time, I remember that was the age when I was feeling like I was independent. I was my own person. Because up until then, I was very attached to my older sister. My social life was revolving around my sister's social life. So I wasn't really my own person, my own individual, Yeah. And at the age of 14, there was this big change in my life when I started having my own friends. I started going out by my own. I wasn't identifying my life with my family or around my family or my sister,
Yeah.
So it was a big change for me. Then let's go to 21. When I was 21, I got married.
Whoa.
I was very young. There is a reason I wasn't pregnant. There is another reason, and that was my grandma, that she wanted me to get married because
maybe she counted 7 years and she's like, it's time, do it.
I don't know about that. So that was a huge change, as you can imagine. All right. So let's go to 7 years later. I was 28, and it's when I moved from Italy to Canada.
Wow.
Okay, it was huge.
Also, when you were 28, I was born.
That's another huge moment.
But you didn't know about that.
I didn't know that. That was a key point. All right, 28. And then 28 plus 7 is 35. And at the age of 35, Artemisa was 1 year old. And that's when I understood that, I'm gay. Not that I understood that I was gay. I decided, okay, I have to come out. I have to come out because I had crush on a woman, and it was very strong. It was the first time I felt strong feelings for a woman, other than having just crushes when I was younger. It got serious because it really, my marriage with my ex-husband was going towards the end. So so that's I was 35. Yeah. Then 7 years later, I am 41.
42.
Oh, sorry, 42. I remember it's the time when me and my ex-husband decided to separate. We were still living together in the same house, and we decided to separate.
Wow.
Under the same roof.
Really, it happened that year?
It happened that year.
Wow.
Totally. Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So it took 7 years for you to go from realizing I'm gay. And then separating. And
it was the year when I started also acting out as a lesbian.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was this girl, and we were feeling attracted to each other. So I came out to her. So it was the first times when I was Yeah.
And the next one,
So-
49.
So 49. At the age of 49, it's when I enter my first relationship as a lesbian, and it's with you.
Wait, I'm your first relationship
Yeah.
as a lesbian?
Yeah, I had an experience with a girl before you, but we were not in a relationship.
That makes me feel very special.
Oh, that wasn't clear to you?
No!
Oh my God.
For some reason I thought you were with somebody before me. Or
No.
that counted as a relationship. of
No, it
some
didn't
sort.
count as a relationship.
It didn't count for you.
Not at all.
Awesome.
Okay?
Is that it? 49, 50, 51, 50. Okay, so 56 is gonna be your next cycle.
56 is gonna be the next, and God knows what's gonna happen. When we're gonna break up.
No!
Oh my God.
No. I'm loyal, remember?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't have many 7-year cycles.
No.
I only have 3.
And?
I mean, okay, let me try to think about it. It doesn't quite work for me, to be honest. When I was 7, like, really nothing major happened. When I was 8, I changed schools, and that was pretty major in my life. So, like, 1 year after, for the first time, I went to another school, and I stayed in that school until, like, high school. But that was when I was 8.
And
So-
when you were 14?
See, again, when I was 14, nothing major really happened. But when I was 15, I went to boarding school in Canada.
So you have an 8-year cycle.
Like, I'm 1 year too late. No, not an 8-year cycle. Because if it was an 8-year cycle, I would be 8 and then 16.
Right. So you're not following the 7-year cycle. Sorry.
I mean, it's like a 7-year cycle, but I'm 1 year too late. Wait, did anything happen when I was 21?
There's another 7.
Did something happen? I don't even... What happened when I was 21? You were around. But I met you when I was 19, so technically...
Yeah.
We started dating when I was 20.
No, wait. It was February 2016, okay?
Yeah.
You were 20 in February, but you turned 21 in May, so it means that in that year, you have to count the entire year, is
Okay.
your 21 year. And
I
you
don't
enter a
know.
relationship with me. No, it counts like that.
It counts?
Yeah.
See, I'm a little bit off. I don't know if it counts.
I don't know, you're off. Let's
I'm a little
just-
bit. It's because my metabolism is slower.
So, but I'm very curious to know from you guys if that 7-year cycle actually works, but it has to be consistent. Like every 7 years, something major happened.
Yeah,
in your
let us
life.
know if it works for you.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just your thing.
Maybe I was influenced by my grandma. I don't know. And then it kept on going like that. Anyway,
That's it.
that's it for this video. See you tomorrow.
Bye.